Firm Window Systems 2017-2018 New Zealand Jet Sprinting Championships is brought to you by Firm. Before we take a look at this season, let's take a look back at last year in the 2016-17 season. The Methanix Aquatrack in Waitara was the season opener and was always going to be weather dependent. Despite a staunch effort to run the show, the weather eventually won and the meeting was called. Awarding each competitor prescribed points for turning up, 25.1 for Group A, 26.1 for Group B. The season proper got underway at the NZ Sprint Bowl at Merry. A fast and technical rotation, catching a few out in the early going, including number 31, the defending champion Olli Silverton, and number 72, the Joker, driven by Andy Ryan. Third in Group A, round one, with a Hamilton pairing of Rick Burke and Alf Kill in Firewater. Second in Group A, the South Island pairing of Cy Gibbon and Paul Thompson. But running out the winner in Fowler Holmes Group A round one with the Taranaki pairing of Michelle Reid and Neil Marshall in Eagle Automotive. It was back to the Methanix Aquatrack in Taranaki for round three, weather this time playing its part. They give in third place Bevan Muir in Team Tools Racing. In second place, Neil Marshall, the round two winner in Eagle Automotive. Whilst in first, the defending Fowler Holmes Group A champion Olli Silverton and Jess Sitt in PSP Racing. Competitors and teams headed south to Hastings in the Riverside Jet Track in Crownthorpe for round four, and it was Cy Gibbon and Novus Autoglass back on the podium in third. Second went to Group A World Champions Rick Burke and Alf Kill in Firewater. And once again topping the table for Fowler Holmes Group A was the PSP Racing team of Jess Sitt and Olli Silverton. Round 5 under lights at the Shelterview Jet Sprint Track was always going to be a game changer. First out, Neil Marshall and Michelle Reid, second in points going in. Third place went to the Hamilton pairing of Burke and Kill in Firewater. In second place, it was Olli Silverton and Jess Sitt in PSP Racing. Whilst in first place, it was the local father and son combination of Ross and Shane Travers in Radioactive. First time on the podium this season.
Ross Travers.
The sixth and final round saw the teams venture to the South Island in the Oxbow Aquatrack in Wanaka. Despite this, still coming third, Rick Burke and Alf Kill in Firewater, netting them third overall in the championship. Second at Wanaka, Ross and Shane Travers continuing their strong form in the late season. But by winning here and only finishing off the podium once, Jess Sitt and Olli Silverton claim back-to-back titles in Fowler Holmes Group A. So from where it all finished last year to where it all starts again, back in the beautiful Southern Alps and the Oxbow Aquatrack in Wanaka. Part of the amazing crew have worked tirelessly behind the scenes, Mandy and Clayton Tisdale.
We've been up here just about every second weekend since the last round, just working, getting the fence up and running, just fixing it up because it was a bit dodgy. So.
Last season, the Tapanui husband and wife had finished first equal with Paddy and Jay Hayden in the tightest Group B competition ever seen. This year, they're moving up.
Oh, I couldn't think of better people to share it with. They've offered us an engine. We had engine trouble last season. I'd rather have it ourselves. But yeah, it's good to share it with them.
Well, we actually did the big step. We've jumped up to Group A. We thought NZ1 and Group B, you can't go any further, so we'll have a crack at Group A. So why not? Chucked a new motor in it, and this is our first play on the track, so hopefully it all goes good.
Another hoping for a good run down south was Taranaki's Lachlan McMillan, Lockie to his mates.
Fowler Holmes has sponsored Group A nationally, yeah, so main reason for that was so my mate Sean had to put Fowler Holmes on his boat.
Lockie is the managing director of Fowler Holmes Taranaki, the new Group A title sponsor.
Lots of nerves, but the goal was to pull off the rotation. We did it on the second round, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now we'll get out there and hopefully put a bit of gas on and stay in the water.
Also back at the scene of his last victory, two times Group A champion Olli Silverton and navigator Jess Sitt in PSP Racing.
so we've got some new stickers on the side, so PSP have had a bit of a rebrand, so yeah, not a whole lot. Had some general sort of maintenance done to the engine, and that's really about it. Sort of one of the shortest off seasons we've ever had, so not a lot of time to do anything too serious.
Canterbury's Cy Gibbon was ready to do battle as well here in the Southern Alps in 2NZ Novus Autoclass.
It was a successful season, NZ2, so really happy with that. That was the aim of the game, to be in the top, one of the top 3 positions. So we made the final every single round, which was really rewarding. But now obviously being NZ3, 2, and there's only one step we want to go, and that's up into 1. So we've just got to get to grips with a couple of wee small teething problems, and we should hopefully be there at the end.
It was problems of a different kind for Rick Burke and Elf Kill on their last visit to Oxbow.
And a brave fade! Yeah, last season, 3rd overall, we were 1 point off coming 2nd, and my little whoopsie last time we were here and crashing the boat didn't help that too much. So 3rd NZ, can't complain, hoping for better things this year.
So after 5 rounds of qualification, the first elimination will be the top 9, and it looks like this. On top it is Ross and Shane Travers from Marshall and Brunning in 2nd place, with Gibbon and Thompson in 3rd. With Michelle Reid still out with injury, Neil Marshall was joined in for him a strange boat, the Richard Murray-owned Mean Machine, by Hayley Brunning. It's 44.878. See him not make the cut. For Carl Brensel and Hamish Murray, who regularly travel from the deep south, this was their home race. The 45.521, not quite good enough to make the 6. Double driving the Lockie McMillan-owned One Chance was fellow Taranaki-ites Faye and Sean Rice. Their 43.471, good enough for 5th fastest. Also making the cut is the 6th and last qualifier, Andy Ryan, and his Chev-powered Stinger, the Joker. 3rd last year, looking to go better this season, world champions in Group A, Rick Burke and Alf Kill in 222 or Firewater. Their 42.778 put them amongst the top. But sitting at the very top with a sub-42 second clocking, the defending Fowler Homes Group A champions, Ollie Silverton and Jess Sid in PSP. 41.988 would take a lot of catching. One combo that could catch them, Cy Gibbon and Paul Thompson. Their 42.711, second quickest for the combo, but there was more to come. And that was the father and son team of Ross and Shane Travers. The family from Wanganui has been trading times with Gibbon all afternoon. So from 9 we will eventually cut them down to 3, but before then we'll cut them to 6. Ollie Silverton, the 2-time champion, on top from Ross Travers, Cy Gibbon, Rick Burke and Sean Rice. The Stinger Boats Group B title battle last season was the closest we've seen. Let's take a look back. Round 1 in Waikato was a washout, rain halting the proceedings before the elimination round started. So just like the other classes, each competitor was awarded a prescribed amount of points. It was a sun-drenched NZ Sprint Bowl at Merry that the championships really got underway with round 2. Get inside a team of Clayton and Mandy Tisdale in 3rd place. In 2nd place were the defending champions Paddy and Jay Hayden in Schizo, reclaiming the first checkered flag for the season, father and son combination Tim and Blair Edhouse in Liquid Addiction. Back to the Methanex Aquatrack for round 3, this time with the sun shining. Making his first appearance on the podium so far, the veteran Ray Thompson, along with David Toms and TNT, claimed 2nd. Taking the win though, Mandy and Clayton Tisdale from Tapanui, whilst their rivals went island hopping, but still finished 3rd, Paddy and Jay Hagan. The very picturesque Riverside Jet Track in Hastings was the venue for round 4, where there was a 3rd place for Ray Thompson and David Toms in TNT. A 2nd place for the Tapanui husband and wife team of Clayton and Mandy Tisdale in Get Insider meant a reversal of the last round and a tie at the top of the table, and a win for Paddy and Jay Hayden in Schizo. Shelter View under lights is always a game changer, but in Stinger Boats Group B that wasn't the case this time around. Daniel Reid claimed his best finish was a 3rd. Clayton and Mandy Tisdall could only get second, and that meant the defending champions had won again. 1 point separated first and second as we went to the final. And that final would be the Oxbow Aquatrack in Wanaka, and there was plenty of action at the sharp end.
Oh, bang, bang! Walla walla, bang, bang!
Tim Edhouse would finish third. Just 1 point separating first and second. All eyes were on the Get Insider team, the Tisdalls, and the Schizo team, the Haydens. In the end, Clayton beat Paddy, and they finished in a draw. First time for Group B competition, and a fitting result to end the season.
Group B has probably decided. The way up here is...
There were plenty of changes in the off-season. The joint champions, the Tisdalls, had moved from Group B to Group A, and the Haydens were now racing for PSP.
Oh, Wanaka's a fantastic place. So you can't get a better backdrop than this. Last year we suffered a little bit the first part of the day, and we struggled with our boat for the whole day. So, that made the difference for us for the end of season. But today we'll go through the motions. So won't do too much, and we'll give it a jandle in the top 5, top 3 if we make it there.
There's not only a new title sponsor for Group B, Stinger Boats, but new combinations. Jake Simmons and Olli Berda, the youngest.
Dad made it, obviously, and his handle's awesome, and she's pretty good.
We had enough spare parts lying around from the boating we've been doing for the last few years, so we threw a package together with an old motor that Pip used to race, get the boys into it. Yeah.
So we move into the top 6 here for the Stinger Boats Group B. On top once again, the two-time champions Paddy and Jay Hayden. First to go though, this is Wanganui's Hayden Wilson. The boat is White Noise. Hayden alongside him in the navigator's seat is Amanda. Engine Rebuilders of Wanganui are the sponsors. Hayden got involved in the sport with Jerry Linklater. In fact, helped Jerry win his first championship way back when. He won the championship himself in 2014. And he's also finished on the podium previously as well. Qualifying time, the best was a 48.387. So let's have a look for the split times. It'll need to be around about the 35-second mark, I would think. Top 9 fastest was a 48.054, working his way down the backside of the course now. This is Wanganui's Hayden Wilson, 34.647. So he's going to be the first of the top 6 to post a time. As you're riding on board with him here as he works down past the crosswash, heading towards the Eltham finish line, 48.016 for Hayden Wilson, so that's a pretty competitive time. Interesting to see how this combination goes. New navigator for Kelly Manell this year. Cherie Patterson gets the nod. This is Girl Talk. Well, she didn't sit on too many podiums last season. Consistent performances meant Kelly finished 3 NZ, third in the nation in the Stinger Boats Group B. It's a 406 Chevy, Stinger hull, Engine Rebuilders, 0800 My Engine. Cut Price Rentals are the sponsors. A 45.689 in the qualifying, so she's appreciably quicker than Hayden Wilson. Look for the split times. Need to be under the 33s, and it is under the 33s. 32.994. So a 47.623 in the top 9. A little bit slower than what they did in the top qualifying. So this one looks pretty good, or they just get a little bit wild as they work their way down through the finish line, and it's a 45.241. They go to the top. Here is the youngest combination in Stinger Boats Group B. This is Jacob Simmons and Olli Berda. This is a combination of Pip Thompson's old Group B engine and a couple of hulls that Pip and Dave Simmons had lying around home. And these guys have made believers out of all of us. Just 17 years of age, students, and man, they must have watched with intent as they've seen their parents run so hard in jet sprinting, and they've picked it up quickly. A 47.071 was their best qualifying time, and another 47 in the top 9. They need to be a bit quicker than that if they want to go through. 33.897, that's the fastest split they've done, so they're on target maybe to beat their 47-second clocking from the top 9. It's a Stinger hull with an L98 injected Chevy in behind them. 46.681, so they keep improving, and at the moment they slot in third place. Craig Shaw and Gillian Good next to go. This is Outer Limits, been around the sport for quite some time. From Upper Hutt, once again it's a Stinger hull with a Chev combination. Qualifying time was a 47.059. Best split we've seen so far is that of Kelly Manel's, and that was a 32.994. Let's see what Outer Limits can do. Started in a Macraft boat like so many jet sprinters did, coming up to the split point now. Are we going to see a sub 30 second clocking? No, we're not. That's a 34.232. So down into the bottom end of the circuit they come now. This is old school jet sprinting. It's freshwater, stone based. You've got to belt down the centre of the channels, and that's exactly what Outer Limits are doing, and they've got it wrong now. Did they cross the finish line? They've taken out the timing equipment. They do get a time though, the 46.283. Here it is. From the onboard perspective, just a little bit wrong over the finish. Well, welcome back to the Oxbow Aquatrack. This is the top 6 for Stinger Boats Group B. You're on board here with Daniel Reid, goes by the nickname of Butterbean. Ben Soul is the navigator. Ben is a Farmlands Technical Field Officer, and Butterbean is a Logistics Officer. The boat is Aquaholic, another boat that's been around for quite some time, and this combination been around a little while as well. He shared a boat with his brother Jason back in the early days. You may remember the Naki boys. 45.186, second in the qualifying rounds. Transferred that to a 45.897, 33.075. Not the fastest split we've seen, but maybe a good run coming here. You're back on board with Aquaholic, Daniel Reid and Ben Soul. Butterbean and Sister making their way down towards the finish. Clean exit too around the last turn, 45.868. That is the fastest time so far. What can the defending champions do about that? Paddy and Jay Hayden now running under the PSP banner. The boat is a Stinger 406 Chev combination. Remember, in the Group B, they're slightly detuned from what you'll see in Group A. There's Jay Hayden. She's a registered nurse just guiding her husband around this serpentine course, Oxbow Aquatrack. We finished here last year. We start the new season here as well. Best time for Paddy, 44.189 in the top 9. They were in the 44s in the qualifying as well. The only combination to do so, 32.205. That's the fastest split. We're going to see a very good run here from the couple from Te Awamutu down towards the finish line. You ride with them here as they cross the line. It's a 44.734, and that is the fastest run so far. So going into the top 3, Paddy and Jay Hayden, Kelly Manel and Cherie Patterson, and Daniel Reid and Ben Soul. Big time back in Fowler Homes Group A. It's Ollie Silverton, Ross Travis, Simon Gibbon, Rick Burke, Sean Wright and Andy Ryan battling it out in the top 6. The first to go, it will be Andy Ryan and Carrie-Anne Allen. The boat is the Joker. Andy's an earth-moving contractor. This is Fowler Homes Group A, the top 6 here at round 1 of the new Championship Series, brought to you by Altherm Window Systems, and Andy Ryan doing a pretty good job. Started his jet spinning career back in 2015. Best qualifying time was a little bit off the pace, it was a 54.734, but then he smashed out a 43.595 in the top 9. That got him into the 6, but only just. He's the first to go in the 6. A 32.440 at the split now. That's going to transfer to around about a 45-second time. You see, he boats right down the centre of the channel. That's because it's a rock bottom. You don't want to get those stones and gravel through the jet unit. 45.169.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't the best run, their last one, but, you know, we'll got to take the good with the bad.
Next to go, this is Sean and Faye Rice. Now, they're not in their own boat. Their own boat goes by the name of Cosa Nostra. This is the boat owned by Lockie McMillan. Lockie McMillan is the proprietor of the Taranaki branch of Fowler Homes. But Sean and Faye's boat not quite ready yet. So you're on board with them here. This combination has been fast. They were fast last year as well in their Elite Kitchen sponsored machine. This, though, as I said, is Rocky's boat. This is One Chance. 44.349 in the qualifying, a 43.471 in the top 9, 32.015, so slightly quicker than what we saw from Andy Ryan. Andy Ryan finished with a 45.169. Remember, from 6, we'll cut them to 3. Heading down towards the finish line now. Over their own weight they go. 44.912. They go to the top of the table in Fowler Homes Group A.
Pretty choppy out there, actually. We hit every weight possible. I was a little bit disappointed we went quicker in the last one. Might still be with a chance to get in the top 3, but we'll see.
Well, you heard Sean Rice saying that it is quite choppy out there. There's quite a wind about as well. How's that going to affect Rick Burke and Alf Kill? They're the next to go. This combination from Hamilton, third last year in Group A, and they are the current world champions in Group A. It's a Sprint Tech G-Force hull with a 406 Chevy. Puts out around about 650 horsepower. 42.691 in the qualifying. That put them second quickest, and then the top 9 time was a 42.728, and that was the fourth quickest in the 9. That got them into the 6. Let's have a look at the split time. They need to be around about 31 seconds. 30.884. That's the fastest split we've seen. So they're on target to go to the top here in the top 6 in the Fowler Holmes Group A competition. Just watch that last corner. You cross your own weight there. Doesn't bother the pair from Hamilton. 42.724. They lead.
Yeah, good. It's a really good rotation for us. I mean, it's as lumpy as buggery, but everyone's doing the same thing, so we're quite happy with it.
So this is Simon Gibbon and Paul Thompson. Now their previous performances, which of course don't mean anything now because we start the slate afresh, a 42.818, fourth quickest in the qualifying, and a 42.711 in the 9. What can they do here? This combination from Canterbury, Novus Autoglass, finished second last year in the title chase in Group A. You're riding with them here. Paul Thompson doing the navigational duties, Cy Gibbon doing the driving as they work their way around towards the start-finish line. They're up over the island. Oh, they've rolled it into the fence. Oh, that's a big accident here at Oxbow. Here we are riding with them as they just pick up the grass, and then you're a passenger from then on, and they slide into the spectator fence as well. Here it is again in slow motion, and you see just a passenger once they hit the grass. Severe damage to the boat, and sadly severe damage to the spectator fence as well, and that means that the meeting has to be curtailed. It also means that we've found our winners in the Group A competition. It will be Ollie Silverton and Jess Sid, and in second place it will be Ross Travers and Shane Travers. Even though they crashed across the finish line, Simon Gibbon will be credited with third. In the Group B competition, Paddy and Jay Hayden get their championship off to the best possible start from Kelly Manel and Daniel Reid. The Mouthfresh Superboats 2017 season got off to a damp start at the Methanex Aquatrack. Run under threatening skies, and despite the organisers' best efforts, the meeting was called prematurely before the all-important eliminations had started. That means that all of the competitors present would get 21.5 points on offer. This was good for some and a bugbear for others. The sun-drenched NZ Sprint Bowl was the home for round 2. Really, the championship would start in earnest. In third place, Nick Berryman. In second place, Blake Bryan. And taking the first checkered flag of the season, in first place, multiple champion Peter Cowie.
Very, very well done.
The second visit to Wanaka and the Methanex Aquatrack couldn't have been more different than the first. The sun replaced the rain and the racing was intense. Current World Superboat champion Glen didn't have everything go his way. This meant he was out early and would finish 10th. Third place would go to Blake Bryan. In second place, multiple New Zealand and world champion Peter Cowie. But in first, a new name in Mouthfresh Superboat, but in a familiar boat. Sam Eunuch in the Cowie-owned NZ boat took the win. Round 4 and plenty of dramas at the Riverside Jet Track in Hastings. The all-important hairpin causing most of the problems. This was Gary Stevens' effort. Second again for the multiple champion Peter Cowie, with Louise Blythe doing the co-driving duty. Third again for Kate Hugerbrug and Blake Bryan to keep their podium hopes alive. And first, this time back in his own boat, for Sam Eunuch and Glen Mason in PSP Racing. Try driving a 1,000 horsepower boat around a track you don't quite know in conditions that you can't quite see. That's what faced Superboat drivers in round 5 at Shelter View. Second place went to Sam Eunuch and Glen Mason in PSP Racing. Getting on to the winners' podium was Glen and Olivia Van Dersen in Eltham Window Systems. To the South Island and the Oxbow Aquatrack for round number 6, the grand finale. And it didn't start well for Scott Donald. But it did for Graham Hill, third in liquid gold. Another podium for Glen Head, this time second, good enough for 3 NZ overall. But there was no stopping the champion. Peter Coey had done it again. The master from Canterbury was NZ1 again in Mouthfresh Superboat. The question remains, who, if anyone, can beat him? Where we left off the 2017 season is where we start the 2018 season, with the picturesque Southern Alps as a backdrop with a Mouthfresh Superboat. This is the Oxbow Aquatrack, starting point for the Eltham Window Systems New Zealand Jetsprinting Championships for 2018. Good conditions greeted the teams, including a couple of Aussies.
It's an amazing track. I wish the weather was a little bit better, because the wind's putting the water back into your eyes, so makes the vision a bit hard, but apart from that, the track's amazing.
To be honest, I think having it the first round's good for the sport because everyone's got to come down. Whereas I guess near end, if people don't want to do the championship or out of contention, sometimes don't come. So yeah, making it first, I think it's a good choice. Plus the weather's better, well normally better. It's certainly warmer, but still windy, unfortunately.
Looks quite choppy. We'll climb into it in the next run and just see what the boat's going to do, and yeah, just chip away at it.
Oh, it's a great venue, and it's a long way to come, but it is actually worth it once you get here. It's a stunning location and a cool track to drive.
Love being down here. It's one of the coolest places to race at. You look around, the scenery is just beautiful. It's awesome, especially with the snow on the mountains and stuff like that. Wanaka track itself, I've always rated since its inception into the championship, so it's pretty cool.
It had been a dream debut into the Mouthfresh Superboat ranks for the 3-time Group A champion, Sam Eunuch. Despite some dramas, he finished second overall in his first season.
Last season, first season in Superboats, our main objective was to just be competitive, coming to terms with a new hull and a new engine and whole new power plant and everything. First round was obviously rained off, and the second round the engine didn't play its part. Had a couple of wins in the middle of the season, so overall we finished second, which we're absolutely stoked with.
The only way to make his first Superboat win any better would have been in his own boat.
First win was awesome. First win in Superboats, being in Peter Coey's boat, him lending it and beating him in his own boat, which is, I can probably say, I don't think it's happened before. So I'm absolutely wrapped with that, and thanks to Pete for giving us that opportunity. And then the second round after that, or the round after that, was Waitra, and we had our original package in this, and we stuck it to them all again. So it was a bit of a win-win, and we were absolutely stoked.
There was one man everyone wants to beat. That is Peter Coey.
It's been a really busy off-season, and built a heap of new boats for guys that we're racing against here today as well, so getting them all under control. We're still running our the 600 small block motor that we introduced at the end of last season, and although there was a bit of a risk, given we were right in the thick of the championship at that time. So yeah, new hull, new seats, so yeah, she's coming along, and a new paint job. NZ Trojan Total back on board, and which is really really good, so it gives us that stability to push on with our racing and also our testing. So yeah, we're looking forward to the season. It's only done one run on the boat so far, so we'll see. We've got quite a strong wind here today, so it's pushing us around a little bit.
Coey, like a lot of the drivers, had one eye to the future and developments for the Worlds in Australia later in the year.
We've had a lot of meetings, quite a few debates over how far we go with some of the developments we've done and some of the things that we try. So we're on guard, we're watching all that stuff, and just to see which things we can put into customer boats in the future. But yeah, you just got to be on your toes and keep moving forward, and small incremental gains seem to be working well for us at the moment, so rather than trying any wild harebrained ideas.
Rock Coley's company, Mouthfresh Oral Care, is the title sponsor for the Superboats in this season. Rod, who along with wife Ange, had finished 5th last year.
We sponsored again this year, but I mean it's good for the sport, and we love it, and it keeps it going. I mean it's not just us. There's plenty of other guys out there too, with Fowler and Stinger and Eltham. And I mean they all help keep the sport going, and it's unfortunately it's not professional, and it needs a lot of guys like us. So. Good off season. We obviously got good motor back together, which we last year unfortunately didn't have at all, and just struggled through with the bloody old girl. But she's it's all good now. Just had a few issues out there now, and first run I knew something was wrong, so I just flicked it off. We looks like we stuffed a few blades and made a bit of a mess in the back end, but sorted all that out, make a few changes. But the wind I think is going to play havoc out there today. Just love the thrill, and it's awesome for family. Like mum and dad follow us around, my uncle and auntie do the same, and brothers on the team, wife sits beside me, and it's just a great family fun sport. And I mean all the guys, they're just brilliant.
A hit on the social media scene, and a boat that draws a crowd whenever it's fired up is the Rotor boat. Peter Ho's owned and now tuned by rotary maestro Brett Curran and driven by two-time Superboat champ Richard Byrne.
We've upgraded the engine this year, so it's been peripheral ported, and we put a 1471 blower on top of it. Because last year we were looking for throttle response, this year we're trying to tone it down.
Yeah, I really want to see it succeed, so I just wanted to see what it was like compared to last year. And yeah, after we took it out on the lake, it was clear that it was pretty good. So
the Aussies were here as well this year in Mouthfresh Superboat. Derek and Ted Sagidis had been frequent visitors to our shores, but this time they were here for some of the season.
We come here to race the first season. We just got our boat from Peter Cowie, so we thought before we bring it back to Australia we're going to come and do a couple of rounds at least over here to suss it out, make sure it works before we send it back. So we're happy to be here, and it's an awesome track. We've got a spare boat. We've actually got 3 boats that we have 2 spare, and this is the meanest one that we've got so far. We've been here at least 6 or 7 times. We've raced in the Worlds, come second here in the World, so we love coming down here.
Finishing just off the podium last year was motivation enough for Blake Bryant and Kate Hoogerbrook to burn the midnight oil in the off-season and come back better than ever.
So far, we're happy, particularly with the way the jet unit's working. I think that was probably where we struggled a bit last year with the smaller 8.5-inch jet unit. You know, that was we bought through from Group A, and I think we were expecting a bit much of it last year. With the power we're putting through it, and now with a bigger pump, it all feels good.
With the wind and the choppy waters, the conditions made it tough for everyone.
Definitely bouncy out there, and that's hitting a few wakes, and the water's coming over the front with the wind. But we've just decided we're going to run bareback for the rest of the run. There's no point in having our visors down when water's coming through you can't see. So we just have to blink through the water and hope we can keep racing before the rain gets in. I feel like when we have tested, there's been a lot more power. You can sort of feel it in the pit of your stomach. It's the first time we've had it out on the track since we got the new engine and jet unit, so it feels like we're starting from scratch a little bit again, but it's the same hull that we had last season. And yeah, it's awesome out there. There's a bit of water coming over the front of the bow, but we just got to push through, blink and carry on.
Well, as you can see here, difficult conditions and a bit of a struggle in the early going for Rob and Ange Coley in Mouthfresh. They would, though, make the 9 the first elimination of the Mouthfresh Superboats. So this is what the 9 looks like in the Mouthfresh Superboats. Peter Cowie on top from Sam Eunuch, and Ted Sagidis from Australia in 3rd place. So first to go, this is Derek Sagidis. This is Ted's brother, and Sean Munro. This is a brand new Sprint Tech G-Force hull that the Aussies have bought off Peter Cowie. So they're using the New Zealand Championship early rounds as a bit of a shakedown. Derek's been a past Australian champion. The boat is Frankenstein. sponsored by 360bolt.com, powered by a fuel-injected big block behind them. And going pretty good, really. Slightly different conditions from what these guys are used to, although they're from Victoria and it does get pretty cold in Victoria. It is quite chilly here in Wanaka and the Oxbow Aquatrack for the first round of the Altherm Window Systems New Zealand Jet Sprinting Championships. 41.681 for Derek Sagidis, so he is the flag bearer, if you like, for Mouthfresh Superboat. Rest assured they'll go faster than that. This is Rob and Ange Coley. Struggled to make it into the 9. They had a mechanical gremlin that they couldn't seem to get rid of. The boat is Poison Ivy. It's the 705 cubic inch big block fuel injected Donovan, all aluminium Donovan in the back. You're riding, looking into the eyes of Rob Coley. He's all concentration. He's never going to let you die wondering, is Rob Coley. He always gives it his very, very best. And his very, very best in the past has seen him on the podium in the New Zealand Championship scene. A second a couple of seasons ago. Having a look for the times. A 42.805 in the qualifying for Rob. Looking to go a little bit better. 29.911. Sorry, there was no split there for Derek Sagidis. We'll work on that one. So this one's going to be around about the 41 second mark as well. Heading down towards the finish line now. 41.634. So Rob Coley goes a little bit quicker than what we saw from Sagidis. So at the moment, Coley on top. Next to go, this is Rob White and Anthony Bradley. Now, back in 1986, yes, I know it's a long time ago, but Rob White from Invercargill was the New Zealand Superboat champion. Came back to the sport for the Worlds in 2016 here in New Zealand at the Berryman Sprint Bowl and also at Bay Park. It's the 520 small block, fuel injected. Rob's a fisherman. Qualifying time was a 42.391. Looking to be around about the 31 second mark, I would think, for the split. A little bit quicker than that. 30.221. Not quite the 29.111 of Rob Coley. Oh, and he grabs the little shelf there as well. And that means normally bad news for the jet unit because, as I mentioned before, we've got a stony bottom here on the fresh water. It's old school jet sprinting. 43.404. Not what Rob White was looking for, I am sure. Rusty 1, Aaron Hansen and Julianne Shanks next to go. 8th in the New Zealand Championships last year. It's a 500 cubic inch small block injected Chevy. It's a Stinger hull. Aaron's a contract engineer. Been on a bit of a fitness kick between seasons. Lost a little bit of weight as well. And that's what it takes to make these boats go quick. Oh, he just gets a little bit untidy then. Qualifying time was a 41.718, and that would put him there or thereabouts. Fastest so far is Rob and Ange Coley with that 41.634. 29.974 at the split, and that is slightly slower than what we saw from the husband and wife pairing of the Coleys, but a little bit better than what we saw from Rob White. Rusty 1 going pretty well here. 41.432 for the couple that finished third in the Worlds back in 2016. So this is Nick Berryman, Joe Rathbone doing the navigational duty. Normally Tanya Ironmonger will be doing the job for Nick. The boat is New Zealand Riverjet. It's a 410 Chevy with a Whipple supercharger. Runs around about 1,200 horsepower. Remember, all the superboats running on methanol fuel and, as the name suggests, unlimited engine capacities. Lakes Lodge Wilderness Retreat are the sponsors for New Zealand Riverjet. Once again, just getting a little bit untidy. You can't afford to get out of the middle of the course because of the shelves, because of the stony bottom that can really wreak havoc with the blades in the jet unit. 29.805. Now that is the fastest split we've seen so far for Nick Berryman. Beat is the 29.911 of Rob and Ange Coley. So at the moment, they've got the potential to go to the top as they work their way around the back of the Mouthfresh Island. Now comes the full throttle blast back towards the finish line. Oh, and the time's blown out. He's made a navigational error. 54.760. He zigged when he should have zagged, and he's thrown away a pretty good time in doing so. Blake Bryant looking right into the camera. Kate, his navigator, sits alongside him. Bars Bugs Harvest Transport, new livery for the boat this year. The crew and the team bedecked in green. Best qualifying time for Blake was a 41.327. Blake and Kate, another combination that's come from the Group A ranks. and doing well. This is only their second season in Mouthfresh Superboat. Having a look for a split time, needs to be in the 29s if they want to be in the hunt. I think it will be. Across their own wake as they work their way back through and up to the top end of the course. It will be a 29.417 for Blake Bryant and Kate Hoogerbrook. Of course, they're engineered by the master Peter Bryant, ex-world and two-time New Zealand Superboat champion. So there's something in the genes. Down towards the finish line they come now. 41.373 for Blake and Kate. So we've seen Derek Sagidis go. This is Ted, his brother. Baden Munro is the navigator. As I mentioned before, the brothers double driving this brand new Sprint Tech G-Force hull with their own Australian engine sitting behind it, using the New Zealand Championships as a bit of a shakedown. They want to come back strong in the Aussie title chase, which happens after the New Zealand Championship finish. A 6-round championship this year for the L-Firm Window Systems New Zealand Jet Sprinting Championships, working their way toward the split point here for Ted Sagidis out of Melton in Victoria. 29.756. So that compares a little bit slower than what we saw from Blake and Kate with the 29.417, but still in the hunt. Remember, from 9 we'll cut them to 6, and then there'll be just 3, and we'll find our finalists here. Is Ted Sagidis going to be one of them? 41.353. Well, this is Sam Eunuch and Glen Mason. 3 times Sam has been the Group A champion. His second season in the Mouthfresh Superboats. Finished second overall in the New Zealand title chase last year. The boat is PSP Racing. Runs a 570 small block in the back of a Sprint Tech G-Force hull. I can tell you that the bubble at the moment would be Rob White from Invercargill, and that is the 42-second clocking. Everyone ahead of him at the moment in the 41s, but the fast boys still to come, and this is certainly one of them. 40.489 in the qualifying for Sam Eunuch, 1,000-odd horsepower sitting behind him and Glen Mason. Now, in a world away, Glen Mason navigated Rex Bryant to a Group A title. 28.910, that's the fastest split we've seen. So Sam Eunuch has set the cap among the pigeons here, working down towards the finish. Forget about 41 seconds. What about 40.045? He goes straight to the top, and I think we say goodbye to Rob White from Invercargill. Peter Coe still to come. Here he is, Sharma Putaranui, back in the navigation seat. They get set to go here. Now have a look at the times. They mean nothing. 38, yes, you heard it right, 38.789 in the qualifying for the multi-world and New Zealand champion. The boat is NZ Trojan Total Oils. It's a Sprint Tech G-Force with a 600 cubic inch now track sport engine sitting in the back of it. So the improvements keep coming from the man from Canterbury, the maestro here. Have a look for the split. 28.910 for Sam and Glen. It's a 28.234. So Coe says, anything you can do, I can do better. And he does it. Little bit of urgency there from Sharma as they work their way back towards the top of the course. This is going to be sub 39. 38.685. Peter Coe sets the benchmark in the top 6 in Mouthfresh Superboat. So it is Coe and Putaranui on top by the best part of a second and a half from Eunuch and Mason, with Sagidis and Munro in third. Unfortunately, this Group A crash for Cy Gibbon meant a premature closure to round 1 of the L-Firm Championship. So our champions in Mouthfresh Superboat round 1, Peter Coe, Sharma Putaranui.
Rules are, if you've completed, the class has completed a full elimination round, then the race controller certainly can call the event based on lap times in that elimination round. In this case, it was the top 9 we completed before the weather packed in, and then some other issues with the fence. So it is how it is, and I think all the races here, top races, were very aware.
So an interesting finish to round number 1. Join us for round 2 of the L-Firm Window Systems New Zealand Jet Sprinting Championships here on CRC Motorsport next week.